very much. Some tools and resources that we have at Principal to help you open these business planning conversations, help guide your clients through the planning process, wherever they are in that process, and help them at the end fund for some of those solutions that we talked about. So everything that we're going to talk about tonight is available through your relationship with BackNine. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the tools, resources, and the life insurance piece, and then Jim's going to talk about some of our very unique, our entire platform of disability products. We're going to be here, we'll be out by 10, is that good?
Sure.
All right. Okay, to 10 a.m. tomorrow, right, what's for breakfast? Okay, so we all know that the business market has tremendous opportunities. Principal has been a key player in the business market for over 60 years. We work with thousands of business owners, everything from mom and pops with 1 or 2 employees up to very large institutional clients. What's key, I find, interesting about the business market is that 99.7% of all business owners are less than 500 employees or less. That's small to medium business marketplace. What I find is interesting in working with business owners is that very, very few of them have thought through that succession plan and actually executed something that is meaningful, that will protect them. So when we're looking at Principal, what I want you to think about is, with the business owners you work with, what are you doing to help them protect what they've built over time? What are you doing to help them plan through that transition process and help create that liquidity event for them when they're ready to retire? And how are you ensuring that they have a meaningful retirement? Is their business going to be enough? And what we have found is that for most business owners, 70% of their retirement income, roughly, is going to come from the value of their business. And so protecting what they build, helping them grow that, retaining the key employees, and then helping them transition is really, really critical. What I find very interesting is that at any given time, 40% of business owners are in the process of transition. And yet, I think statistically speaking, 36 or 37% of business owners actually have a written succession plan. And as you pointed out, very few of them have funded it. And so what happens, that's where we come in, is how do we help them take advantage of that? And in the next 20 years, there's $4.8 trillion of net worth being transferred from one generation to another or to a key employee. And so it's really a viable market. So our platform is our Business Owner and Executive Solutions platform. It's a industry-leading platform of tools and resources designed around the 6 key areas of business planning. And so everything from business protection and supplemental retirement plans, exit planning, wealth transfer, you can read the different categories. In each of these categories, our resources are very broad and deep. So for example, if you came to me and said, I'm thinking of a supplemental retirement plan for a business owner that he wants to do something for 2 key employees, that strategy might be very different than what I recommend to a company with 250 employees, right? The benefits might be different. Or if you came to me and said, I have 2 partners that want to retire tomorrow and they need a succession plan. You know, a cross-purchase buy-sell might work very, very well in that scenario. But if you said to me, I have a law firm with 50 partners, I might need to think through, okay, now it's going to be some type of entity purchase. We need to think through how we're going to buy them stock back. We're probably going to need to create some type of sinking fund, maybe using something that goes tax deferred that we can borrow against tax-free to help them with those liquidity events as they come along. So in each of these categories, very broad and deep resources, unique to the individual. Now, in addition to your local support team at BackNine, we also have a team of 12 attorneys and CPAs on staff, and all they do is work on business cases. I'm going to share a couple of the tools with you tonight, and I know some of you have utilized. Their job is to help us identify the opportunities, think through what is that transition process, what tools and resources are appropriate, and help us with those discussions. So for example, one of the tools that we offer is a complimentary buy-sell review. And oftentimes what we'll do is we'll get us a copy of the legal document, we'll have one attorney go through and prepare a report, then we'll have a second attorney do a review. Now oftentimes when we get that, it's like, now what do I do with it? There's definitely opportunities for helping them shore it up. We need to go to a local attorney and get that redrafted and updated. And probably some funding opportunities. Oftentimes they leave out the disability funding, and usually they're underinsured on the insurance side. So this is what our team does. This is all available to you complimentary, again, through your relationship with BackNine. Okay, so a couple of the approach tools that I do want to talk about today are our informal business valuation. I think, how many folks in here have actually used that tool? I know a few of you have. Okay, perfect. And so that's our tool. So again, recognizing that for most business owners, their business is their largest asset. So one of the things that we do is we offer an informal business valuation. Now it's not a formal valuation. It will not stand up at a court of law. However, What it does is it helps us peg the value of the business so we can start the planning process with the business owner, okay? It's very simple and easy to use. We use a one-page, whoa, where's my fact finder? There it is. We use a one-page fact finder, and for those of you that are a little less comfortable in how that conversation might flow, we actually have a flow chart for you on what do you say if they say, oh, I have a buy-sell. Well, okay. When was the last time you had a review? So this is our flow chart. We have 11 questions, and we need 3 years of tax returns or 3 years of financials. And from there, our team, our attorneys and CPAs on staff, will actually do an informal valuation. Now, the good thing about the valuation, oh, I forgot my props. The valuation will come to you in 5 to 7 business days. It'll also include your insurance partner here at BackNine. And what we're trying to do is our team is going to look at the 5 different methods of valuation typically used by the IRS, and they're going to make a recommendation as to which method is most appropriate, typically based on their industry, and they're going to give you a number based on the financial information they provided. Now, I didn't provide copies of these, but again, these are all available through your relationship with folks at BackNine. Okay, first thing we're going to do is we're going to outline the information we found in the financials. We're going to tell you what the value is and tell you which method works well. And then we've incorporated all the sales opportunities. So in this one, it's example, it is 2 partners, 50-50 owners, so a cross-purchase buy-sell would work fabulous. If you go through this, it'll actually talk about how do you structure it, what is a cross-purchase, how do you structure it, what are the different ways you can pay? Do you want to pay using a sinking fund? Do you want to pay using cash? Do you want to pay, oh, I know, life insurance? And so it goes through the different sales opportunities that are pertinent to that client.
I just want to say, Sherry, I think it's great when you're trying to work with a CPA because it's objective, and the CPA will take this, you know, it's free, it has graphs, you know, you're going to develop a relationship with your CPA, and you're just, you know, it's just.
Thank you, and that's a great point. These are tools and resources that you can use to develop your centers of influence. So to build that team of professionals that you need to bring in when you're working with business owners. What's great about this process is we want you to interact with our advanced sales team. So quite frankly, when you send one of these in, I will require that you go through your valuation with the person that did the review. We're going to talk about what was in the numbers, what impacted the value, and what your next steps are. Are you going to leave with a valuation? Are you going to talk about supplementary retirement? Are you going to talk about key person? Are we starting with disability? What is the next step, and what do you need to get ready for that appointment? Now, the attorneys and CPAs, they love to talk to the attorneys and CPAs that are going to be involved with the client, helping them on the process. So, especially with the buy-sell review, let's go through the legal document and identify some of those key points that need to be updated and talk about how we would implement them. So this is a tool to open those conversations with centers of influence and really get your business owners engaged and excited. It's complimentary. It doesn't cost them anything. So when was the last time you were able to go to your client and give them something this valuable for free? Just to get them to start the planning process. Yes?
I think the key to this, I'm going to go back and date myself, but I started using business profiles in 1974. In fact, I sold business profiles to mutual benefit life agents because for my first year I got $100,000 using business profiles. Because you don't have to be an insurance expert to know this stuff. You've got the modules and the tools. And anybody can do this by following the modules and the tools and present the information to a client or a client advisor and look like he knows what he's talking about without knowing anything. And that's the key to what you're doing.
That's exactly right.
That's the key. Without that, it means nothing. And then you can present a finished product because most agents don't have the sophistication, nor the time, nor the background to do this stuff and put it in paper.
That's exactly right. And so then, let's say you're uncomfortable having a conversation about the buy-sell review. You know what? You don't have to. That's what we have folks on staff for. You know what? I'm not a valuation expert. I'm not going to talk about why we're using the year's purchase method and how your goodwill was impacted and all that stuff. That's what I'm doing.
So many agents get bogged down. They want to look at a buy-sell and review it. They want to look at a trust and review it. Look at a will. You don't make money on it.
No.
You've got to go get an expert in self-insurance.
Right.
That's how you make money.
So you use our team to open the conversation, get the resources pivot up, and then you pivot to the sales opportunity. Now that we know what the value of your business is and you need a cross-purchase buy-sell, let's talk about how we're going to get started. Yes?
I was just going to ask you what else it is that you guys offer for our clients as you were.
Okay, so let's keep going. Okay, so we talked about the informal business valuation. Did I talk about the buy-sell review yet? Kind of.
Yeah.
So we also do, okay, these take 5 to 7 business days for the valuation. We also do buy-sell reviews. The buy-sell reviews where you get a copy of the legal document and any insurance they're using to fund it. Those we review. We have 2 attorneys that do those. One does the report, one does a review. Those take 19 to 20 business days. They're very comprehensive. And again, they come out in a nice report that you can use to collaborate with the attorney that the client's working with, or the CPA. In addition to that, we have, in each of those modules, we have a ton of tools and resources. We have great thought capital pieces. We have pieces on what goes into a good buy-sell. We have sample buy-sell agreements that you can provide to your business owner clients. We have great proposals. So my 3 top sales obviously are funding the buy-sell is a big part of what we do, helping them put in a buy-sell, however it's structured, using term and permanent products depending on the scenario. Key person is a very big part of what we do. You have access, we have a very quick quote calculator where you can actually plug in the variables of the business owner and or their key employee, you know, how much do they make, what percentage ownership, and it'll actually pull in a term quote for you, all the current term rates, and we are very, very competitive in term, and we have the most liberal conversion features in the industry, so you can convert to any of our permanent products, which we have a whole suite, UL, IUL, VUL, you name it, SUL, GUL. So we have a great key person insurance calculator, which, you know what? Insuring the business owners and their key employees. Isn't that what it's about? We need to help them protect what they've built. And then supplemental retirement plans. I don't have a piece on this with me tonight, but we have a whole suite of supplemental retirement plans. So think about it this way. Let's say I'm working, let's say Jonathan and I are business partners, and I've identified, or he's one of my key employees, and I've said, you know what, in 10 years I want to retire, and I'm going to sell my business to you. Most business owners have to fund their own exit, right? How do I help Jonathan create a sinking fund to make a down payment on my business in 10 years, right? I'm going to put in a buy-sell agreement. I'm going to probably use an executive bonus plan or maybe a CERT plan or something, but I'm going to put away money for him, like